Batman, Prelude to the Wedding, Robin versus Ra's al Ghul, #1. Tim Seeley writing and Brad Walker on art. So this is the Damien focused issue, and Ra's al Ghul appears eventually.
Yeah, I almost messaged you guys. I hadn't finished reading it, and I was like, "Yo, Ra's al Ghul not being in the Ra's al Ghul titled book." I'm a little
kind of weird, yeah.
And then I get to like the last 4 or 5 pages, and I was like, "Oh no, he's there." Okay, they got me.
Yeah, no, they were building up to it. It was all hallucination.
I've said this before, but Seeley's becoming one of my favorite writers.
Yeah, this was good. I'm way more optimistic about all these one-shots after reading this one now.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like it's actually making the wedding itself feel like an event, and because, like, just having this be kind of mainly about Damien dealing with the fact that he's kind of going to have a new stepmother, and what is that relationship? Because we've never really touched upon it. There's been very little interaction between Damien and Selena. So, having the awkward things of, like, I'm not calling you mother, and then that heart-to-heart at the end where she's like, you don't have to call me mum, you know, and even the thing where she's like, I don't even know if I want more kids, like, I mean, I don't think I probably should, and besides, they could never be as good as Damien Wayne, and, like, almost he wasn't expecting that compliment, and he's like, oh.
She's
okay.
like the perfect stepmom.
Yeah.
There's a handful of moments in this book where I'm like, that was weird. And then I get through it, I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like what do I think about? Like right on the first page, you know, where he gets pricked with the needle, and he reacts really weird, like really strongly to it. I'm like, I mean, come on, Damien, you can take a little needle prick. You're fine.
Yeah,
I've seen you take worse without. And then it's like, no, but then I realized like a couple of pages later, it's like, oh, he's playing up the reaction because obviously they don't know he's Robin, so he's playing up the reaction as to, oh, this kid just got stabbed by the needle.
Because there's a point in this book when it got to this weird Nightwing Catwoman like hybrid character that was attacking him. Which, by the way, I loved that he was sneaking into the arcade to play Cheese Viking. Yeah, that was good. Oh. And then he was upset when he destroyed the machine. He's like, "No, my score!"
Yeah,
so
I love that Cheese Viking's a thing. Yeah. And I feel that came from Seeley in the pages of Nightwing. So of course.
Yeah,
you know, Cheese Viking makes its grand appearance here.
Yeah,
I like this character that they gave him to fight Aeon, and it's a winged lion, which is also a chimera, so it had that poison whip.
Yeah, but like you say though, my first thought was it's a Nightwing suit with the Catwoman head. That's basically what the suit is. And at first I thought this is kind of stupid, but when it got to what it represented, and it was the idea that he was going to be replaced by some new child, like some new offspring from Batman and Catwoman, and that was going to like overshadow him, and that was his fears here, and that's what all the drug was making him see and like fight.
Think, the reason it works so well is because if you're an only child, or even if you're the youngest child, but then your parents are having another kid. Right, it's like, oh, you're not the youngest anymore. You're not the one that gets all the attention. There's something else there, right?
Yeah, and then of course even hallucinates to the point where his future Damien as Batman, and like Ion's ripping the.
I love this bit where he's like, no, you're so drugged up, you don't even know where you are. And he's like, no, you're Batman. This is the future. That's why you're fighting me, because. At first when he's having this conversation, it's like, okay, is this like a time travel thing that he's come back?
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Damien's thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's
because you never know.
Right,
in
exactly.
the DC universe, you never know.
Yeah, it's a comic book. This could be time travel. Sure, why not?
Right, exactly. So he's like, okay, is this some alternate future? This thing come back to fight me? And then it's like, oh no, this is the future. You're Batman. You're just reminiscing about this because you're that high. I'm like, okay, that was a nice twist.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was.
I like the stuff with Roz and him explaining, or Selena explaining. She knows all his history, what he was meant to represent, and like the constant struggle he's having. That he wants to be a Wayne, but deep down he's also all Ghul. Yeah. And he wasn't actually carried by his mother, so he's much more attached to Bruce. And I feel like if I can get more of Damien and Selena, like bonding, like mother and son, I feel that's great for Damien as a character.
Yeah, actually, this was the exact line I was referring to earlier. I'm on the page now, and I don't think I'd be lucky enough to have another Damian Wayne. That's actually a really sweet line. I was not expecting this to hit the sweet notes.
Also, I love that when she comes in after the hen party, she's got like the bag of all the gifts and stuff, and there's a little like Nightwing top of straw thing.
Yeah, I love the idea that he is like a complete sex icon.
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely playing it up.
yeah, not intentionally. It's not like
Sometimes-
his doing, but he's just become this thing. He doesn't own himself anymore.
Yeah.
Which that's
Yeah.
hilarious, especially coming that it's Selena and she has just to play along.
Yeah.
You know. So.
But there's
But yeah, there's.
I was going
Go
to say there's a little setup at the end for the next issue. There's a little epilogue where we see Raz. He snaps. Well, I say it's a setup for the next issue. I think they'll be teasing this in all of them, but it's ultimately building up to what the story's going to be in the main Batman book over the next few weeks or few issues. So basically, like, he's ninja has his eyes gouged out, and there's been some sort of attack. He's killed all the rest of the ninjas, and I actually got he was talking about the Joker here because he was asking if we were invited. We got invites, and I'm like, oh, it's the Joker. And then the final page is that all these. And by the way, maybe they're overpowering the Joker a little bit here because he's killed all these like League of Assassins.
Yeah, that threw
members.
me. I was like, Joker's good, but he's never been hand to hand. That's never been his strong point. It's trickery and all these little things that he does.
He could have got them all into the room, and then, had a kill machine or something. We don't know.
I mean, sure, but there's like swords through some of them, spears through others. I'm like, what the hell happened here?
When I got to that point, I wasn't thinking that critically. So, touche.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much. So if they want to go back and explain how he did this, then
yeah, it's a little
sure.
weird though, right?
I don't know. Maybe he gassed the room first, and they were all kind of half knocked out when he came in.
Yeah, I like that it adds to the mystique of Joker, and I like also the idea of Ra's almost being the ex-father-in-law, going like, "Oh, okay, well this thing's happening." So,
yeah, I can see they've been teased like this through all the issues, but it's building up to Joker's like involvement when he.
I think it's making the wedding seem like a much bigger deal. It's involving everyone, because before it was like, okay, we're going to get the Bat family involved and Joker's going to crash, but now it's like, no, everyone's coming.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a pretty solid one shot. It was. I mean, I'm more excited in general. I'm glad that they're making this feel like a big event, even if it does mean buying like 5-6 extra books for a month. But
I don't mind. I like this type of stuff.
I do like it more after this one. Before that, it felt a little cash-in gimmicky, right? Oh, let's make a big deal. Let's get all the extra issues out of it.
If all of them are about how it affects that person, which is why the only one I'm really skeptical about now is like Harley's issue. Like, okay.
Yeah,
that's a cash one.
I mean, I guess maybe the argument in that one is it's how the Joker being obsessed with it's affecting her rather than the wedding itself. Maybe.
See, I think something that you could be an interesting way to play it is, because Harley has that history with them as the Sirens with her relationship with Catwoman.
That's
if you play it from that angle.
Oh, true. Yeah, it could be Selina's connection to her rather than Batman's connection. We should rate the book then. What would you give it, Connor?
I give it a solid 8. I think it's pretty great.
Matt?
Me too, an 8. And I'm not just copying. I had that in my brain before. I really enjoyed this issue. Even the art, it matched really well.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't really argue with it. 8 sounds good. I don't like going any higher than that, but I feel like 7.5 is going too low.